Hi my dear students, in this video we are going to see 8th Social Geography Chapter 2 Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. In part 1 we completed land and soil, and this is part 2 video. We are going to cover water, natural vegetation and wildlife. And you everyone know first topic we are going to say is water. It is an important renewable natural resource. Water is a natural resource, we everyone know. Water is a natural resource and we everyone know earth is also called as blue planet. Which planet we are living? Earth. And earth is called as blue planet. Why earth is called as blue planet? Because 3/4 of the earth is covered by water. So earth is called as blue planet, or it is also called as water planet, right? So the water completely, our earth is covered by 3/4 of the earth is covered by water, even though we can use only 1% of water from that, because 97% of that water is salt water from oceans. So we cannot use that salt water for cooking purpose or for some other purpose. And 2% it is in the form of ices in glaciers or in mountains. So only 1% of the water, fresh water, is available for human use, right? And we know that water can be neither be added nor be subtracted from the earth. We cannot add the water or we cannot separate. It will be the same level. The total volume will be remains constant. It will be having the same level. Okay. This is the water cycle. Okay, right? First, in water cycle, the four processes of water cycle are evaporation, precipitation, condensation and transpiration. The water is converted into water vapor in evaporation, and again the water vapor is converted into water in condensation. Precipitation is the falling of rain, and transpiration, again the water is absorbed by the trees, again the water is again converted into water vapor. So again and again the same process of water cycle is repeated. So water cannot be added or not be subtracted. Its volumes is very constant in the earth. Now we are going to see the uses of water. Where and all we are using water? Can we live without water? No, definitely we cannot able to live. Drinking, cooking, agriculture, industries, washing clothes, bathing, and even for producing hydroelectricity we are using these waters. But the population is going on increasing, so there is a demand for this water. Water shortage is there in the world, and continuously the water, we are polluting the water. We are continuously polluting the water, and so the freshwater level is going on decreasing. So we are facing the water scarcity all over the world. All over the world we are facing this water scarcity in many regions of the world, mostly in Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, South America and the complete entire Australia. They are facing shortages in this fresh water supply. Okay, not in water, but in you want to know the difference between water and fresh water, because water may be salty form or it may be in ice form in glaciers. So we need only fresh water. So that is we are facing the shortage in fresh water throughout the world. In all the countries they are facing water shortages, and water scarcity is there all over the world. So how to conserve this water? How can we conserve this water? What are the things, what are the steps we can do in our daily life, and what are the things we can do in agriculture, and how to conserve water we are going to see now. First thing, the industrial waste, whatever industrial liquid waste with chemicals, it is mixing inside the water bodies, and it is polluting with nitrates, metals, pesticides, many things, many chemicals that will reach the human body through water, and it will affect all the human beings. That water is completely polluted. If you are taking that water without treating it, what happened? The human body, we will have more and more problems in our body. So before leaving this water into this water body, We want to treat that water. We want to take all the pesticides and nitrates out of that water, and then only we can leave this water into the water body, so that it won't it cannot affect any human beings. And second method of conserving water, it is, you already know, water harvesting or rainwater harvesting. So while raining, we want to preserve that water. We can use some tubes, and underground we can preserve the water. Rainwater harvesting or water harvesting. This is the best method to prevent surface runoff. The water cannot be wasted during by surface runoff. So we can prevent this using water harvesting or rainwater harvesting. And the third one is, for agriculture purpose, we can use this drip irrigation. See here, many tubes are there. Small pipes will be there. If we are switching on this tube, the water will be going deep underground, and it will be reaching the root directly. So the water wasted in this irrigation is not continued. So we are using this drip irrigation to save the water in agriculture. So that the tubes are, what does mean by drip irrigation means, the tubes are formed and many holes will be there. It will be going the underground, and it will reach the root clearly, so that the water directly reaches the root, right? The root part of the plant, in which part of the plant the water is essential, definitely it is root. So the water in drip irrigation, the water will reach the root directly, so we can conserve more water in this type of irrigations. So we need to conserve water. We should not use showers, and we should not use western restrooms. We should not waste water. Dripping of tap, we should control that. We can preserve water in lot of ways. So we should leave some water for our future generation also. So conserve water and preserve each and every day. And next topic we are going to cover natural vegetation and wildlife. What does mean by natural vegetation? We know plants, trees, shrubs, herbs, everything natural vegetation. And wildlife, we know animals, plants, insects, everything. It is wildlife. So where these natural plants and animals, it can survive. Even human beings, where it can survive, whether it is in lithosphere, that is land, or in hydrosphere, that is water, or in atmosphere, air. No, they cannot survive in these regions. Only in biosphere this can survive. And all the living things and non-living things are interconnected. That is called as ecosystem. See, all the life supporting system, that is known as ecosystem. Everything, every living beings are interrelated and interdependent for each other for their survival. So that is called as ecosystem. And from we are getting many more and more sources from this natural vegetation and wildlife, that is from plants and animals. What are the products we are getting? Without the plants and animals, whether we can get products? No, whatever we are eating. See, this is ecosystem. And whatever we are eating, what are the products we are getting from plants? Cereals, pulses, vegetables, fruits. Not only that, we are that without trees, can we breathe? Can we get oxygen? No. So the plants, it gives us lot of products for our survival. And also animals, what it gives you milk, meat, egg, honey, and many things are there for this interconnections. And these plants, it give you many extra products like fruits, nuts, gum, medicinal plants, and many more and more things for you, and we dependent on that. And animals means not only animals, big animals, birds, insects, as well as aquatic animals. Everyone will provide us milk, meat, wool, and everything. And even though there's insects like bees, it will give you honey and helps in pollinations in flowers. And also the birds, it will eat the insects so that it won't decompose. These are the decomposers. And vultures, it will able to feed the dead livestock, and so that it won't decompose, it won't be make any smell or anything in the earth. So we are interdependent of this plant products and animal products. That is, we depend on natural vegetation and wildlife for our survival. Distribution of natural vegetation. Actually, these distribution mainly depend upon temperature and moisture. How much rainfall, whether we are having heavy rainfall, Like that, we depends on that. Natural vegetation depends on temperature, primarily depends on temperature and moisture, where the forest is placed, or grassland, or herbs, or shrubs, or herbs, whatever it is. It completely depends upon temperature and moisture for its growing. And we are having many variety of natural vegetation in our country, like tropical vegetation, thorny shrubs, many types of natural vegetation are there in our country. If the rainfall is very heavy, very high rainfall, if the forest or plants it receive, it will grow well. If it is a dry region and low rainfall is there, then the plants will be very dry. So in dry regions, the deep roots and leaves, it have thorny and waxy surfaces. The moisture and transpiration moisture will be very less in that thorny shrubs, the dry area, that is the low rainfall areas. Forest covers all over the world, but it is vanishing rapidly. That is, it is the amount of forest places it is reducing. We are cutting off the forest, trees, everything, and we are constructing the buildings. So we should not destroy the forest. It is a very valuable resource that is given by God to us. So we want to conserve everything. And how to conserve this natural resources? How to conserve this natural vegetation and wildlife? Forest is our wealth. We are getting more and more products from forest, but due to many natural defects are there, due to natural and due to human effects, the forest is destroying nowadays, due to deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, landslides. These are the factors affect this forest. And animals, they are collected and they are illegally traded for their skins, nails, thorns, everything they are selling. And the animals like lion, tiger, elephant, deer, black bull, crocodile, all the animals, we are destroying it nowadays. Many species it is continuously destroying, and we want to conserve everything, otherwise we won't get any products from that. So we humans, we are disturbing our activities, it is disturbing and it is spoiling, it is destroying many species in this plant varieties and animal varieties. And we should open many national parks and wildlife sanitaries, and we want to encourage many programs like Vanamochav Day, so that in Vanamochav Day the children will started to plant some trees, and they will pour water and they will start to plant trees. And we want to encourage our government to arrest the peoples, those who are killing lion, tigers, deers, etc. They want to pass many laws against this trade, and we want to conserve our plant, natural vegetation and wildlife to lead our life happily, so that it is each and every person's duty to conserve the animals and plants in our world. Just I will conclude this lesson. We more than studying a lesson, in this chapter we want to conserve our land, whatever it is, soil, water and wildlife, natural vegetation around us. At least we should not disturb them, we should not spoil them. Our activities should not disturb their natural habitats or species of plants and animals. We should conserve them, and each and every citizen, as a citizen, we are having the ethical duty to preserve and conserve all this land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife. Thank you, dears.